That's real good.
Hello, Chicago Bears fans. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast number 86. As always, we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to discuss the OTAs and minicamp and talk in the stadium. And we have a special guest with us tonight. We have the Delusional Bears fan. We got our boy Todd. We got our bad guy, Chicago Clarence, in the house. What up, guys?
What's up?
Hello, everybody.
And thank you for joining us tonight. So, Delusional Bears fans, let's start with you. Why are you a Chicago Bears fan?
Interesting story. So I was raised by my dad to love every single Atlanta team. He's from Georgia. So love everybody. And the Braves are dear to my heart, I do have to say. However, that's the only team that stuck. And so I was raised to love the Chicago Bears by the rest of my family. And so
there, Atlanta fan on the bottom row beside you. He likes you already. You're gonna be invited back for sure.
mean, we're talking Dave Justice days. We're talking Ron Gant. I got to meet him, like all of them. Great play. But Chicago Bears are dear to my heart, and I've watched so many games and learned football knowledge over time.
Oh my God, we got an Atlanta Braves. Todd, what are we gonna do? It's 2-2. 2 Cubs fans and 2 Braves fans.
Well, and not to mention, I'm in Northwest Indiana, so home of possibly the new stadium. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, you have feet on the ground. What is your take on this stadium deal?
Yeah, so I'll say, now my sister and I are season ticket holders. So we go to a lot of the games, and I also go to an away game every year. I understand why they want to go to Indiana. If you know anything, and I'm not trying to make this political because I don't get into the politics, but I'm sure there's some background noise there, of course, about what's going on with the politics of Illinois and how this all shakes out. I'm not going to get into all that, but what I will say is we got a survey that we had to fill out as season ticket holders on what that experience could be. Why? So we did it. It asked you so many questions about everything. At the end of the day, this is a business. They got to make a business decision. And if Indiana is what's going to get them the most for their money to build where they need to, I get it. But being in Soldier Field, there is nothing more nostalgic, exciting, exhilarating than being in Soldier Field, seeing the city skyline around you, especially when we were doing so good in the playoffs this past year, and it was electric. So I understand that side of it too. It's a hard decision.
I mean, I still think they're going to end up in Arlington Heights. I really do. I could be wrong. I still think they got $400 million invested in Arlington Heights. That's hard to walk away from. Ty, Clarence, what are your take? I mean, I know we talked about this to Dev. What are you thinking on this? Todd, what are you thinking on this stadium deal?
I think if I'm Indiana, I'm like, what more do you guys want? You know, act like you want to be here. And I don't think they act like they want to be there. So I think that if I'm willing to give you everything, and you're not, then you're still not, making any kind of commitment to it. I don't think you're going. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Chicago Clarence, what are you thinking on the stadium deal?
Where do I start? Up until last year, I can honestly say that the Bears is one of the worst ran franchises in all of sports.
Yeah.
When you consider how we go about doing our business. And up until we hired Ben Johnson, and there was some debate about Ryan Poles because some people was not happy with how we handle Eberflus and whatnot. And, I think that we did Justin Fields a disservice. I won't go into all of that, but, we are one of the worst ran franchises in all of sports. And it's for things like this. You know, when you fire a head coach or when you fire a president of football of operations or a general manager, when you got to go out there and hire a service to tell you who you should go interview and hire, that's the problem. When the owner or the chairman of the team is on record saying that he doesn't know nothing about football, he's just really a fan, that's who's leading your team and your franchise. This whole thing about getting a new stadium is a mess. And don't get me wrong, because I want a new stadium. I want it in Arlington Heights. And the legislators figure into this as well. But you didn't do your due diligence because this is not how you go about getting a new
No.
stadium. You don't just go out there and purchase land and say, okay, y'all, we ready. You have got to grease some palms. You've got to shake some hands. And you didn't do that. And so now you let them leverage you into charging you three times what they're paying in California. We all know that's the most expensive place to live in the freaking world, not just the United States. But if they're paying $12-13 million a year in taxes and they want you to be paying upwards of 20-30-40 million a year,
I said 53, I think
Yeah.
is the
that
number I
is
saw.
crazy. And that's just them
Right.
trying to leverage you. So then you turn around and you go out there and you want to say, okay, well, we're going to start looking at other places. We're going to go to Hammond. And so we all see the sites. I mean, come on, how embarrassing is that? Near a waste plant where the smell of manure and all that stuff is in the air and you're trying to eat your hot dog, you know, this is how we do. I mean, it just looks bad. And then for those guys to sit in session all night long into the wee hours, making you think that they're getting ready to vote on your proposal, and they don't even talk about it. They don't even vote on it. And they call your bluff. And then you to go back and say, okay, well, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to announce in 2 days that we're just going to take it up and hand it. When they know you don't even have a viable place to build a stadium.
Is
It
I
it-
don't
just
disagree.
looks bad.
I mean, you're
It
there.
looks bad.
Is the location that bad?
Is it? Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yes,
Is it
it's
as bad
that
as
bad.
I'm asking her? She's Northwest
She's
Indiana.
there.
Yeah, so I'm right near it. I'm probably 15-20 minutes away. So I think it would invigorate the city of Hammond. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm sure it
You
would.
got people already looking at sales sites out there for apartment buildings to add commercial on the bottom, apartments on the top. You know, maybe it's a rooftop type of thing,
Mhm.
possibly. But what I've had concerns about is the steel mills in the background, the waste, what do they call them? The sludge, whatever
They
they're
call it
supposed
Slag
heaps.
Valley.
Yeah, something like that. So they would have to reinvigorate that whole town. And I think that's what they're looking to do. That's why I feel like they're, gumming up at the chomps to like get the Chicago Bears there because that's a statement name and they could reinvigorate from that point on. I'm going to say though, is it the decision hasn't been made before because of Virginia McCaskey? She's gone now.
Yes.
Now, I agree with you, Clarence, on the whole part about, the owner coming in saying, I'm just a fan. But is it because Virginia has passed that now they're willing to make decisions? I do agree that it all has all been messed up. There's not a lot being said on the Chicago Bears side, and we're given these little bits and pieces that feel like, okay, what are we doing? Because that's what we're all thinking.
Well, I'm sure she made her opinions known before. I mean, it wasn't surprising that she passed. I mean, was she
No.
102? I mean, so they clearly know how she felt about that. I mean, she was alive several years after the Arlington purchase, so I mean, they know what her wishes are. Now, she's dead, so there's not much they can do.
I
about
don't
it,
think she would want him leave Illinois.
that's what I think too. I think that has a lot of bearing on what they're doing now. I think she is influencing it.
But what does that matter? We know there's several NFL teams that don't play in their home state. It doesn't matter at this point. What matters to you is, what should matter to you is keeping a viable product on the field for your fans who have been loyal through all your
Right.
crap.
Many.
All these losing season after losing season after losing season after losing season, and you have the audacity to raise ticket prices. Now, I don't go to the games. I rather watch it in the bar, but that pisses me off. Because you to put the product out there and and you lose, and in some instances we look very bad when we did lose, and you turn around in the offseason and raise ticket prices because the demand is there, and you will have us go there and play in a stadium where it is the smallest stadium in the NFL, along with the oldest. We don't own it. The Parks and Recreation Services own it, and they tell you what to do, and you are a tenant, and you got to sit there and take it. Now, does Indiana give you all of these great options, tax breaks? Whatever. We still don't own that building either. I'm tired of being tenants. Every owner in the NFL is a billionaire. Don't tell me you can't go out there and finance your own stuff. Don't
They
tell me
could.
that. You just
They
got to
could.
have people. Kevin Warren was brought in here to do one job,
Right.
and he has not done it. Stop worrying about being the announcer of picks. Do your job. Get this stadium project on the way. Get it fixed. And then you can sit there and go out there and call out who the next draft pick of the Chicago Bears going to be. And probably ain't going to be on defense. It's going to be another freaking tight end.
Well, I guess if we want to talk about that, when we're thinking draft picks, when that tight end came through, I was like, what is going on? But I saw
Yeah.
a recent interview with him, right? Sam Roosh,
Right.
and he is passionate. That doesn't mean anything. He's learning from Cole and he's learning from Colston Loveland. We'll see what that means. But did we need another one? Is that the pick you wanted to make? What about defense?
I agree with you, but Ben Johnson says the NFL is moving towards 13 personnel. That's how you take the top off when you send the wide receivers deep. You beat them underneath, and you use tight ends. Because we have two problem children that are really fast with Xavier Thomas and Luther Burton. They
Yeah,
should
that's
take
fine.
the tops off.
That's fine. We just lose games 38-35 because we can't stop people.
So, Delusional Bears fans, I'll start with you since we want to talk about defense. Did we do enough in the offseason, the draft, to get us over the hump?
I don't think so. I think we have some issues at edge. And
Yes.
I think we never solidified that. There was all that nonsense mess with Mason Crosby and just what was going on there. And when we heard that he wasn't going to Baltimore, I was like, oh man, is this the opportunity? But then it was because he didn't pass physical. I know that's normal, right? Is he
Yes,
going to
it
be
is.
healthy? But did we want to? I didn't think at that point we need to pay the money that he wanted, right? So we've got Kobe Bryant now. We've got our core that we've had. We've got Dylan Thieneman. What can they do? We got Jalen Johnson. Can he be healthy? Kyler Gordon. I don't even know where to start with him. It's glass, string cheese,
Yes.
whatever analogy you
Yes.
want to use. I don't think we're there yet. I'm hoping that's what we're known for defense, but I just don't think we have the pieces yet. I think we have a good starting core, but I think we need more.
I think we're short on defensive end. I mean, reportedly, Shamar Turner's hurt. I mean, Ben Johnson said in his press conference he's not sure when he's going to be ready. That's not what you want to hear because we were counting on him.
Yeah.
And Kyler Gordon is hurt again already in camp. That's not what you want to hear. And Cam Jordan, if you didn't hear, signed with the Saints today. He went back home. So, Todd, what is your take on our defense? We got enough or are we short still?
No, we're short. Nickel's a concern, and Edge has been the biggest concern for 2 seasons now, really.
Yes.
But no, the draft fell the way that it did. The tight end pick was a little surprising. Supposedly he's a fantastic blocker, so we'll see. I mean, maybe the running back numbers will be that much.
It doesn't
better
fill the
because of
gaps we need today, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was funny. The draft before the running backs there was 2, and then they'd go about 2 or 3 picks before we were in line to get them. And that worked out pretty good with Monongai. So it felt like that was happening in this draft too. That what defensive linemen that I thought were interesting for us, they were going 2 or 3 spots before we were picking. And I think we're always going to have some wild cards with Ben Johnson.
Yes. We hired an offensive-minded coach.
Right. Well,
he's going to add to his toolbox every chance he can.
Yeah, and I mean, even the little signings they're doing now is a little head stretch. I know you need bodies for camp, but the stuff they were doing today, it's like we went from having who's going to return kicks to now we've got 5 guys. I guess that could do it now. So it's like, I mean, I know that the guys that are going to do it, we either drafted or we signed to real money. Raymond and
Thomas.
Thomas, the rookie. So, but they keep bringing in those guys. The only interesting, they took that big interior guy at the end of the I think it was in the 6th round, Vandenberg, the kid out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
I mean, his numbers, his score numbers, his testing numbers are off the charts. So, maybe they have something there, but they are always content to kick that down the road, kick that can down the road. And nickel was a problem last year too when we brought in CJGJ, we moved him to get him to try to play nickel, and that didn't work. He was pretty.
He had some glimpses, but not enough.
At safety, he was solid. When they tried to have him play the nickel position, he couldn't. The speed wasn't there. So I think that's a problem. But I think that's an easier problem to fix. And Malik Muhammad's a guy that doesn't get brought up enough. He can fill in that role too. I think he ends up being CB2 eventually, but you want those guys to be all interchangeable. That's what they keep saying. So, and that's what they need to be.
Bad guy. I already know your answer. Did we do enough on the defensive line this year, off season?
We didn't do enough. We didn't do nothing, in my opinion. Listen, having a strong secondary is great. I like the Kobe Bryant signing, but I was only happy with that because the assumption was we were going to do something to help the defense out up front.
Right.
We did it linebacker too, guys. So this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the NFL, the rules are geared toward scoring because they want the excitement. Now, am I glad that the Chicago Bears have competency on the offensive side of the ball? Yes. But this team, this franchise is known for defense. Right. And just because you sit out there and you get all these people in the secondary, that's great. But you know what that gives you? That gives the opposing quarterback all day to pick you apart. And we have seen it too many times. Mm-hmm. A competent quarterback, if you give him all day, can beat you. We can't get to the quarterback. It was a problem last year. We are the 29th worst team at it last year, and we did nothing to fix it this offseason. So if you ask me, did we do enough on defense? My answer is hell no. We did not. I don't care that we might be able to score 50 points because we're going to lose 51-50. So we're going to sit there and be excited, or we're going to expect Caleb Williams to bail us out and be heroic every single time. And that don't work in the NFL because people watch tape. They will figure him out. And we will lose football games.
We did address it last year. We addressed it financially. Now that didn't work out necessarily, but
how, Todd? Tell me how we did it. Tell me how.
We addressed it financially.
We spent the money.
Yeah, and
it was a bust.
Jarrett, we spent money.
Okay, so let me ask you this. That's fine. But if you go out there and spend $10,000 on a car that barely runs, did you address the problem? No. Sooner or later, your ass is walking again.
And we also spent a 3rd round pick on Shamar Turner. So, we made moves. We didn't really make any moves this year, but there's only so much money to go around per position. If you look at what we're spending on the defensive line, we can't justify it this year. Now, the Deo money is dead, and the Grady Jarrett money is dead next year. So we can address that again financially, but we do need to bring in young players. I feel like they get a little cocky, and they really pushed this Vandenberg kid, out of nowhere. It's like I spend a fair amount of time looking at prospects, and I didn't know this kid, and I'll know the first 150 prospects, in any given draft usually, and I was like, wait, what? And then and then they show his scores, and they're perfect. It's like, well, there's got to be an issue. If he's the greatest thing in the world, why was he there in the 6th round?
But none of us was happy about the Deo signing. We all raised hell, especially with the amount of money that we gave him. We were definitely surprised because it didn't make sense. And just because you throw a whole bunch of money at a clown and you think you're about ready to have the best circus on the planet, guess what? And then the worst thing happens for you. This dude gets hurt. He was already playing terrible and not earning his money before he got hurt. You gave Jared a bunch of money, and he's the old man walking. I mean, so come on.
But But free
ahead.
agency is fool's gold always. So
It
you're either
is.
going to get a guy who's past his prime and Grady Jarrett, who wants to be the difference maker, just can't physically do it anymore, or you're taking a guy this guy still has upside in Deo, so we're going to throw him some money to see if we can, develop that upside. And
Well,
if
and
he
I
had
want to say
legitimate upside, Indy
Go
would have
ahead.
kept him. Sorry.
Go ahead.
First, I think I said Mason Crosby. I meant Max Crosby.
Yes.
Secondly, I want to talk about other teams, right? So LA Rams just signed Myles Garrett.
Right.
Why aren't we
Big.
making splashes like that? You look at San
Preach.
Francisco. I know, rich, right? But you also look at San Francisco last year. They had so many injuries, yet they still managed to win. And so we've got to get there. And defense wins championships. It's known. And that's
still
what we're
does.
known for typically. And so I think we had a big miss there, quite honestly.
I mean, if you look at the past two Super Bowl winners, Eagles and Seahawks, both dominated with defenses. They both dominated the trenches, dominated with defenses. So with Delusional Bears fans, are we building this team the wrong way on defense? Most teams build front to back. We seem to be building from the secondary and moving forward. Does it make any sense the way we're actually building this defense when you look at it?
To me, it doesn't. Honestly,
No.
you think about it. I think we're building the offense, and I get why we're doing that because our offense has been terrible for many years. You know,
Yes.
if we have to go back and say Jay Cutler was probably one of our best quarterbacks, that's a problem.
Yes,
But he
it
did.
is.
He took a lot of hits, and he was a decent quarterback. But it's not good enough. And so Ben Johnson is an offensive-minded coach. He's trying to build that offense. I still say we're not good in the red zone. I know we're talking about defense, but if we're
Mhm.
building offense, we're not good in the red zone. That's why we're losing by 2 points or 6 points or 7 points or whatever the case may be. But we've got to go back to tried and true of what we're known for, and that is defense, and we are absolutely not there.
No, we're not. I mean, when I heard the scout or the news from the camps, I mean, most people said that the versatility is there in the secondary and the linebacking group, but that was really the only positive. I mean, they said Jalen Johnson looks really, really good. Like he's moving fast. He looks like the Jalen Johnson of old. And I mean, Kobe Bryant and Thieneman are interchangeable. TJ Edwards, they said, is moving well, but there's nothing really positive about the pass rush in camp again.
I mean, the front to back thing this year. I mean, we decided to clear out the safety room because they were too old. So we signed Kobe Bryant. So that was money. That wasn't real. We had no capital, no draft capital thing, and Thiedemann fell in our laps. He wasn't supposed to be there 25. So you can't just say, well, this was our game plan. We needed a safety. We talked about other safeties that went later in the draft. There was a lot of talk about that Warren kid, but so to say that we're choosing to go back to front, when the player falls in your lap that in a spot that you need,
Right.
You
have
take
to make
him.
that move. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, Thieneman, they didn't expect to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You almost could tell they didn't expect Thieneman to be there. So Clarence, let me ask you something. Who's our biggest rival? We were talking about this pregame. Is it Detroit now because we haven't beat them, or is it Green Bay because we own them of late?
It's always going to be. I mean,
That's
I don't-
cool. I don't know.
I don't know about the owning part, but it's the Green Bay Packers, and it's not even close. The theater that's going on between Ben Johnson and LaFleur is great cinema. It's great TV. The NFL likes that kind of stuff,
It does.
and it happened. It's really great to win a game or two against a team. I guess up until this season, we had lost 7 or 8 in a row to the Packers. Well, we beat them last season. The kick field goal, 50-yard field goal. But we had always lost to them, and we had got sick and tired. I mean, it was so bad. Aaron Rodgers would sit there, and the Packers could be on a 2-3 game losing streak, and look at the schedule and say, "Well, we play the Bears next. That's a win." This guy talked about it, and he was right. I mean, hell, the McCaskies owned the Bears, but Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers held the lease. So now that we got somebody who has embraced the rivalry, the team seems to respond, albeit in the last 3-5 minutes of the fourth quarter. It's great TV. It's great theater. I'm excited to see what happens when we lock horns this upcoming season.
Delusional Bears fans, you're the one who brought this up backstage. Who is our biggest rival?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I brought up Detroit because they are a contender. We're hungry to beat them. They beat
Yes.
us twice last year. I think there's a vendetta between Johnson and Campbell. But
Yes.
as every passionate Bears fan there is, we know Green Bay is the rival. We can't stand them. They can't stand us, even though they like to
True.
get on their perch and say, oh, we live, Bears live, or we live free in Bears heads, Bears fans' heads. We just don't like you. You've
No,
talked shit
thank
for
you.
many,
I
many
like her
years.
already. She's got a
You've talked
lifetime
shit for
membership
many
here.
years. No other name gets me more fired up than Aaron Rodgers, and I know he hasn't been there for a couple years, but I can't stand him. And then for
I like
Jordan
her
Love
already.
to come in and say, we own you, fuck you, Jordan Love. You don't own us, and we showed you that.
Damn it,
Period.
Claire, she's
So
cooking, man.
Green Bay is
cooking.
the rival. I can't stand them.
Woo!
And fun fact, I was married to a Green Bay fan. We
Oh,
are now
no.
divorced,
Oh.
and that's how that
I
goes.
wonder
That's all
why
I'm
we
going to
got
say.
divorced. Todd?
Yeah,
I
look, there's interesting storylines between Campbell and the Lions are very good.
I think it's
and
very
all that.
personal with
But it's
Campbell.
it's always Green Bay, and it'll always be great. Even if one of us is terrible, that's always the main rivalry. We can have little issues with the Vikings or whatever, but it's always Green Bay.
Are we concerned about the Vikings? Are we concerned about Kyler?
Nah,
Kyler. Is it Kyler, right?
Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
I'm
Kyler
sorry,
Murray. That's
Murray,
it. I'm like Kyler Gordon. We're thinking Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy. I think he's just doesn't even understand if he's playing or not.
Let me say something. Everybody's bashing the Vikings. I understand why, but this team won 9 games last year with no quarterback play. They had no quarterback play at all last year.
They had a decent defense, so they could do what we couldn't do, which was beat Detroit. And they beat them in Detroit.
If
Fair fact.
Kyler Murray has to be better than anybody they played at quarterback last year. I mean, they had a revival. They started with McCarthy. He got hurt. Then they went to Wentz. Then they went to some kid named Bosmer. It was a revolving door.
I remember that kid, yeah.
I don't think Minnesota is going to be a cakewalk like everybody thinks.
Well, no, I mean, it'll be a game, but I mean, we should beat that team. I mean, Kyler Murray's fine, but I mean,
I think we're one of the toughest divisions. I mean, let's not take the Rams and their division and San Francisco and all that, right? That is a tough one, right? But we do have a tough division. And I know they said this year we see it, the schedule that we're up against, but we had the second hardest schedule last year and we still managed to pull through. I still believe in the Bears and they're going to make an impact, but this defense is going to make us win or lose when we get to the end because those are going to be the toughest games.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up the Rams earlier. We made a bold move. We spent money on a coach. Like that's huge for us.
It was.
But Stan Kroenke is a billionaire who didn't make his money owning a football team that his grandpa or his great grandpa bought for $100 back in the day. These guys, they've made real money. They can make real. He owns Arsenal. They won the whole thing. They won the Premier League. He's willing to at his age willing to make these moves to bring in Myles Garrett to just not even pick in the first round for the last 10 years because they know that they can bring in the guys to do that and they can find that we're getting there, right? We have a real coach and we're developing players for the first time and I can remember in forever developing players. So we're not there yet, but I mean, you brought that, why can't we be there? Or look, they can do this in this other division. And, we're baby stepping it. So we're on the
division is tough, but
is.
the hierarchy is us, Green Bay, and Detroit. Don't sit there and talk to me about a team whose potential starting quarterback has to be strapped into a freaking car seat every time he gets in the car, or he eats off kids' meals at all the restaurants. I ain't worried about that.
He's an upgrade over what they had.
He's also short.
He is.
Yeah.
So Clarence,
and often injured.
So that rolls into our next question we want to talk about. Who is the best quarterback in the NFC North now?
Ooh.
Are you kidding me? It's Caleb Williams.
I agree with that. If he could get some precision and he can win in the red zone, he is going to be electric and no one's going to be able to touch him. I think that's where we're at. But he's got to fix those things. He has to.
Got to make the layups.
Yeah. Yes. If he could just get the layups and the dump offs and the checkdowns, he would have had 4,000 yards last year easily.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. He missed about, I mean, it was 50 yards, right? Ball, approximately. I mean,
I think it was 39 something. It was.
It wasn't much.
No. I mean, I would personally take Caleb Williams number 1 in the NFC North just on the potential. Like I said before, I think his ceiling is the highest.
I think
you know what you. Go ahead, Todd.
Last show that if Rome had caught 5 of his many drops, he would have been there because I think he was about a 15-yard average. That's what he needed. Was Rome to drop 5 less balls. So anyway.
Yeah, but like as I was going to say, I would definitely take Caleb Williams number 1 in the NFC North. His potential is so high. I mean, Jared Goff, you know what you got. I mean, he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he is who he is. Same with Jordan Love. Jordan Love is streaky, and I don't really like the ball coming out of his hand.
I mean, do you guys realize the amount of money that Kyler Murray makes? And there's still some rides that Caleb Williams, he ain't tall enough to ride.
How long has he been in the league? Because I can't remember. How long has he been in the league?
Kyler Murray, he's been in the league a while.
8 years, maybe. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 8 years, Todd. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And he just hasn't been able to prove himself to win that championship or even close.
He's taller than me. He's 5'10", according to this.
There's
I
no
don't know
way.
about that. There's
no way he's 5'10". Standing on a stack of phone books, maybe, or standing on his wallet, but he ain't 5'10".
Yeah, he's starting his 8th season. He was 7 years with Cardinals.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Delusional Bears fan, you brought this up backstage also. What rookie you expecting to make the biggest impact? Let's start with defense first. And I
think it's got to be Thieneman, and if it's not, then we paid a lot of money. That's what I'm going to say.
I guess your brother is watching. He says hi, sis.
Yes, that's my brother, my stepbrother. Yeah. Hi, John.
So
I'm going to say Thieneman all day.
Clarence, who are you expecting to make the biggest impact on defense as a rookie?
Same thing, Thieneman. I think so. I do think that the kid from Georgia, Vandenberg,
yes,
I think that he has the potential only because we're so bad across the defensive line. It ain't going to be much to show. This guy, what I will say, his get off is pretty good. He's shown a little wiggle in the step, but we don't have the pads on yet either. Talk to me when the pads go on. Let me see. Let me see what you can do then.
That's the easiest job to win. I mean, I can't imagine we bring back Dexter and Grady Jarrett will probably retire. I mean, he may play a year somewhere else, but I can't imagine we bring him back either. So that defensive tackle position should be up for grabs. I don't even know who the next one would be, honestly.
So he's probably penciled in as the starter right now.
Delusional Bears fan, Dexter. He's in his last year. Is he worth re-signing? Is he worth an extension?
I don't think so. He hasn't proved enough, in my opinion, to be signed. Now, if he has an electric year or he shows that he can make impact plays, that's a possibility. But he hasn't made enough splash to be able to warrant like an extended contract, in my opinion.
He doesn't get off the ball. He doesn't put enough pressure, and he's bad against, and he's not good against the run. If he was solid against the run, you could make an exception and give him a little money and make him, number 3. But some other team will think they can fix him and he'll get.
What about Booker? Can we talk about Booker? We haven't brought him up either. I just thought he popped in my head.
Yeah.
We already have him slotted as I mean, he should be our top pass rusher, honestly.
He would have got double-digit sacks if he wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Yeah,
that's your belief. That's your belief, Andy.
So what do you?
I don't even know why you say that.
What do you think of Booker, Clarence?
I mean, he's a third down specialist.
He is.
That's what I've seen. Now, he did flash against the Green Bay Packers. I'll give you that. And he had a costly penalty that, for my money, was BS. At the same time, we got to stop rolling the dice on these projects. This is a team that's on the cusp of being a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And you're giving us flavor aid instead of Kool-Aid on the
Fragments.
defensive line. That is not how you build teams. Everything starts up front.
So
Forget
is this
about
a
doing it from the back.
Go
is
ahead.
this a Dennis Allen issue?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's being said in those rooms. That's the thing, and we don't know. We feel like that Ben Johnson has a lot to say so based on the picks that we're being made because all of us was raised in hell about close to Loveland. So, you
Oh, look
know,
at him.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a stud.
at the end of the day, though, you know, no matter what sport you play, defense wins championships because you
Yeah.
just don't have a team that just blows everybody out and you just can't stop it on offense. These people are paid a lot of money. They will figure out a way how to stop you or at least slow you down. So if you get stopped, and let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers game, let's talk about the playoff game with the Rams. You know, when we needed to stop them, we couldn't. They converted a third down in 17.
Yep.
We're supposed to get them off the field. So
They
those
were
are
on
the
the field
reasons
way too
why.
long.
That's the reason why I am so passionate about this because I see that we're going about this the wrong way. I don't care about what our secondary looks like. If we can't stop people from running the ball on us and we can't get them off the field on third down, those are going to be problems.
I mean, as for Dexter, I mean, he was here when Dennis Allen was here. I mean, he was already here.
Hell no, I'm not giving him no extension. He owes us money. I ain't giving him no extension.
No, I mean that's the kind of player you let go in free agency. Some other team goes, "Oh, he was a second round pick, and we can develop." They didn't know how to do whatever. I mean, because we make those excuses when we sign guys like, "Well, they couldn't figure out how to make it work." But honestly, Booker needs to be our defensive MVP.
He's got to do something.
This is his year to step up. He's had 2 years to get the size on that he needs to do it, and this is his year. I mean, this.
And how about one more thing, Todd? How about let's not put him in a preseason game that we're up by 100 and get him hurt on special teams? How about that?
Right? No,
idiots.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, that's not. Yeah, I mean, we who's our preseason MVP? Daniel Hardy. That's
Daniel
the guy.
Hardy is normally our preseason
but
MVP.
you know, he's probably defensive end number 4 right now. So, you know, I don't know.
I mean, to me, I think their vision is Deo is our first and second down defensive end, and then third and long, second and long is going to be Booker. I think they're going to move Deo inside.
On the field, but he needs to be more than just a third down guy. I mean, he's
too light. He can't stand up to these tackles against the run. He gets washed out.
Is he not up to 265 or so now? He's got to be in that range.
I mean,
he's been adding weight and strength.
He was at 240 at rookie season.
Light.
Yeah, no, I know, but he's gained weight. I mean, let's see.
Well, he automatically gained weight when he started playing football with his wallet in his back pocket after all the money we gave him.
We didn't get. We're talking about who? We talking about?
Booker.
Are we talking about Dale?
No. Booker ain't made no money. He's a 5th round pick.
I'm talking about Dale on the outside. First and second down, what you guys were saying.
Yeah, they still have him at 245 on ESPN, but I don't think that's right.
I mean, in the weight room, he looks ripped.
Booker is cut.
Yeah,
so he can hand fight and he can win one-on-one. Dale, on the other hand, I ain't seen it. He was getting pushed around when he was in there. Manhandled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, any signing they make is just going to be a veteran that's going to play minimal snaps and
1 year. There's no big move to make now.
It's Sweat, Booker, Deo, and whoever, you know. And
well, you know what? When you wait till the last minute to get a prom date, then you got to dance with who's ever available. We put ourselves in this situation.
We certainly did.
Yeah,
we certainly did.
So, delusional Bears fan, let's go to the offense. Which rookie you expecting to make the biggest impact on offense?
You know, I've been thinking about this one, and I think it has to be Xavier Thomas. I think he is the one. He is showing flashes right now of the things that he can do. He's catching every catch. He's hungry. He's got a desire. I think he's going to be our biggest flash, and I can't wait to see it. I wonder if he's going to be competing with Luther. You know, that's what I want to see. We'll see if Luther even who is wide receiver number 1. I don't know, but I think Xavier for rookie.
Question. Who is wide receiver number 1? Because Rome needs to step up. This is his third year.
Rome needs to step up. This is his year, and if he doesn't show up, he's not getting the money.
It's a bad guy. Who is wide receiver number 1 on this team?
You know what? On paper, you will have to say a
Should be
Doomsday.
Rome.
That's who they want. But I'm not even sure he's the first option. I think it's Loveland.
Yeah, I do too. I think that kid is going to be a beast.
Now, to answer your question that you asked, Delusional Bears fan, Xavier Thomas is the person who I think has the chance to make the biggest impact, and I'll tell you why. We're looking for a dangerous kick returner. Duvernay did a decent job. There was a game that we needed him to step in. I think he got us the ball at the 45-yard line, but he didn't have that breakaway speed. This Xavier Thomas dude is fast.
He's
He's lightning fast. And you get that guy in the open field and he's able to break a tackle, then you might as well line up for the extra point. He's Devin Hester fast. And Ben Johnson is salivating on what he can do with him on the offense, getting the ball in his hands. So I'm very interested to see what we do with him.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to get much chance in the offense. I think he needs to make every.
Well, I'm talking about a package of play, something like that. Because we didn't re-sign Zacchaeus, and Zacchaeus got a decent amount of targets.
Yeah, no, he really did. He really did. I think that Rome on paper is one, and I hope he is. I mean, Luther is my favorite receiver on the team. He does all.
Luther, he reminds me of Steve Smith. His hunger. Yeah. He plays with a chip on his shoulder.
I love Luther. But I honestly think their third receiver is going to be Khalif Raymond. I just his veteran presence.
That's a good take.
He's going to get a lot of targets. So that takes the rookie down to 4, 5, and and we have.
And Raymond is fast.
Raymond had tore it up in OT. They gave him a lot of love in the OTAs.
Yeah, I mean, and the other boy that got some touchdowns last year, he looked
Ja'Day Walker.
Ja'Day Walker,
yeah. I mean, there's
he's looking good too.
There's 6 spots. I mean, so they keep signing all these guys, and I mean,
but you can't be wide receiver 1 if you can't catch a cold. Right. I
think that Colson is going to get so many targets, and I think Luther's going to earn targets, and I think if you're 6-7 games in the season and Rome's on the sidelines butthurt, I'm not going to be surprised by that, because I just think that it's like, oh well, DJ's gone, I'm going to get all these targets now. You're going to have to go.
Not if you can't catch the ball, Todd. Not if you can't catch the ball.
Yeah. And I hope he is wide receiver 1 for us, but.
He should be. He was drafted number 9. That's why you draft him at 9.
But if Ja'Day Walker's catching touchdowns and he wasn't drafted at all, it don't matter. That doesn't mean anything.
Walker's gonna have a hard time making this roster, I think. Yeah. You got Rome.
Yeah. Well, I think Walker makes the roster.
Thomas.
I think he's
Raymond. Scotty Miller has also had a very good OTA. He's tore it up.
It's a practice squad spot just for depth in case somebody gets hurt. I mean, we've got 3 or 4 of those guys now, that should make the practice squad. And if somebody gets hurt, we've got all kind of depth there. I hope Logan Jones is our offensive rookie of the year. I hope he just steps in and just
I like that take.
And then we never talk about that position again. So if you're never talking about it, then he's doing his job.
Yeah. So Delusional Bears fans, I already know what Clarence is going to say. Who's going to be our left tackle?
They're loving them. They're loving Braxton right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the name I've been hearing. That's what I've been seeing.
Had a very good OTA.
I think that's what it's going to be. I'm gonna have to go in on him.
He's actually got nothing but positive things said about him in OTA so far. Clarence does not like him, so be prepared. Clarence, who's our left tackle going to be? There's really no options. Because Jedrick Wills, the kid we signed from Cleveland, who's a top 10 pick, they're saying he was running with the 3s. That's not good. Theo Bennett, they were moving around the line. They had him at right tackle.
No.
So it looks like it's going to be Braxton Jones.
Theo can play some swing.
Yeah.
You're going to need him, and probably going to need him if anybody goes down.
Yeah, because the real Braxton Jones is going to show up. Y'all know this already. I hate that guy because he is a human turnstile. He sits back there. He tells people he can't block against bull rush, and then we see it on film. We see it in games, and the guy sits there and thinks about blocking half the time. He's going to get our quarterback killed. Now, I know that we have no choice but to put his fat ass out there right now because we got injuries. But at the same time, do your job. Do your job. You got an opportunity to get paid. Do your job. And I don't want to hear this stuff about how good he looks in OTA. They used to say this about Mitchell Trubisky for the last 3 years he was on the team. Every year, what did they feed us? Oh, Mitch looks good. He's diagnosed defense. Well, yeah, you're telling him to freaking plays. So I don't want to hear this stuff in OTAs. I want to see it when the real bullet starts to fly. Then I believe it. But you know, guys, I hate breakfast. If I see him in the bar, it's going to be a problem. I'm talking about the moving the furniture type problem. I'm getting the back of his jersey dirty.
You have no idea. So, Delusional Bears fans, I'll tell you a quick story. The very first time I met Clarence, I didn't speak to him. I had moved here from Charlotte, or from Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm originally from. I moved here in 2006. Whatever year Trubisky was drafted first, I went to a draft party. So I just typed in Chicago Bears fans. I saw that they went to Wild Wing Cafe. So I went to a draft party, and the Chicago Bears with a number, what was it, 3 or 4 picks select Mitchell Trubisky.
I can't believe they still selected him.
No.
It gets better.
You forget it. We traded up.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
We gave him 4 picks.
That's right.
All I hear is, what the fuck? I cannot believe they. What the hell are they doing?
I said the same thing. I said the same thing.
No, it gets worse. He grabs the table. It starts to go over. People at the stairs stop him so he doesn't get thrown out. And that was the very first time I met Clarence. But I didn't speak to him. I'm like, I got to remember this guy. So regular season.
I got to be his friend.
Yes. He was so livid over them drafting Trubisky. He went to overturn the table. That was my first memory of him.
And the thing about it is, too, is Trubisky was a 1-year starter at Carolina, and I probably only know one person that probably seen every snap he took at Carolina that year, and it's that guy right there. He watches all Carolina football.
Yes.
So I didn't see a game. I didn't see a snap, and I'm like, well, I guess maybe they know something, but clearly they didn't know something, and Clarence knew that right out of the gate. They didn't know anything.
All right. I just want to touch on this because it's kind of was irritating me. Brandon Sorsby. Anyway, what does anybody think of that whole ordeal?
The federal judge that granted him the injunction to play should be disbarred.
Yep, absolutely. Should lose his
job. And these players that continue to take the NCAA to court over instances that they know better, you dilute the power of an organization to enforce its own rules. Now, we all know the NCAA is asleep at the wheel. Yeah. And they never wanted to get to this part. There's so many problems in college sports right now, but you cannot allow a player to bet on his own team while he's in the game. You won't even let Pete Rose go to the Hall of Fame for betting on the team. And you let the man die and still didn't give his just deserve of being able to be elected into the Hall of Fame. And Pete Rose should have been elected to the Hall of Fame. Plain and simple. But you don't let a guy bet on himself and $900,000 when you gave him that money to come play at your school. He turns around and bets on the game and he's involved in it. And you allow him to do this. It's crazy. And it's wrong. And you're setting a dangerous precedent by allowing that injustice. Now, I know since then he had pressure. They were talking all this stuff about suspending them games and whatnot, and now he wants to go to some supplemental draft.
Yes.
Whatever. But that's a dangerous precedent because now other people are sitting back salivating and, okay, well, I can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree. Delusional Bears fan, what was your take on this whole Sorsby deal?
Honestly, I'm listening to it for the first time. I don't know much about this. So while I'm listening and I'm like,
anyway,
understand.
He admitted to gambling on when he was at Indiana and Texas Tech. He bet the over on himself. He bet the
Oregon. He played Oregon too. He played at 3 schools.
So he bet Oh, the over on Texas Tech, he bet the under. Anyway, he made something like 9,000 bets, and
Can't be doing that.
they banned him. He went to court. The judge gave him an injunction and suspended him only 2 games. So, but today he declared for the supplemental draft. So he did everybody a favor. He finally stepped up and made an easy decision for everyone.
So is anybody going to have the balls to take him?
That's
in
my
the
next
draft,
question. Is
supplemental?
anybody going to draft him? Because
I
he
hope
only
we
had a
don't.
4th round grade as is.
Yeah.
Now you add just gambling stuff onto it.
Would you want that problem? That's the
That's-
question I would be
yeah.
asking. And
Yeah.
I agree with Clarence that like if Pete Rose is not getting into the Hall of Fame because of things like such things, right? Then why are we allowing this to happen just because you think he might be a flash player or something, special in the future? I don't think it should be going. I don't think they should be
He probably
I
doesn't
don't know.
expect to get drafted either, but I guess if he doesn't get drafted in supplemental, then he can sign with whomever and be in a camp this year, I'm guessing. So
Yeah,
Reminds
it's
me of
hard to be
draft
where
day.
you're not wanted. Plain and simple. It's hard to be
Somebody-
where you're not wanted.
somebody will give him a shot on the roster, but I
He's
don't
a
think
quarterback.
they're going
They're hard to
to
come
invest.
by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and somebody's going to invest a supplemental pick in him, but somebody will definitely give him a shot.
I feel like
so.
somebody will give a 7th.
Yeah.
Give up
You
a
think?
7th for him.
You know who's going to do it? You know who's going to do it?
Cleveland.
The New York Jets.
Anybody
Oh,
that needs a
fair.
quarterback.
Sure.
Fair.
So let's head into our final thoughts before we sign off. Delusional Bears fan, thank you for joining us. You did great. You're
Thanks for
welcome
having
back anytime.
Love it.
And you were
Loved
cooking.
hanging with you guys.
were cooking. So anyway, you can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find Delusional Bears fans on TikTok. She puts out great content. My final thoughts is I'm just ready for the season. I hate it. We're 6 weeks away from mini camp. So now we're in that dead period that just sucks.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
gonna be no
it
news,
does.
nothing to talk about. But I'm ready. So Todd, what are your final thoughts?
Apparently, we play hockey in Carolina, and
Yes.
we won the Stanley Cup. So
Yes, we
woo.
did.
That's it. That's all I got.
Also, I'd like to say the New York Knicks are NBA champions
Yeah,
after
they are.
50-something years.
Yeah.
53, I think I heard. Yeah.
But anyway,
Pretty good for them.
I cannot wait till we get to experience that as Bears fans. Get a Super Bowl parade, a Super Bowl ring. I cannot wait till we get to experience that. So, Clarence, what are your final thoughts? I'll let the ladies go last.
You know what? We got so many things going on in this country.
Yes.
Since our last show, we had the stuff down in Texas with the kid getting 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Some people saying he didn't get a fair trial and whatnot. But, we have this war going on. Sports is a welcome distraction.
It is.
You know,
It is.
And not that we shouldn't be paying attention to bigger things, because we all should. We should not be asleep at the wheel. We should exercise our right to vote
Mm-hmm.
and not have politicians try to cheat, to take away said rights, because people are in the ground who fought so we all could have the right to voice our opinion. And, football is a great institution for you to be able to, escape, the rigors of work and life, and just be able to sit at a bar with people who you love to watch games with, and your football family like I have with my guys, and hoot and holler at your favorite team.
Yeah.
Delusional Bears fan, I don't know if you play fantasy, but we have a spot open.
I
You're
would
talking to the
love
defending
to
champion.
play fantasy. I run a confidence pool that
Yes.
we do. So I would love to be
Yeah.
a part of fantasy football.
Get at us.
Yes.
Get at us. Get at us. Send Andy
So-
your email address,
Yeah.
and we have one player in this league who you're gonna love. She happens to be my daughter.
I love it. I love it.
And she actually talks more smack than her dad, which is
I
hard
think
to
that's
believe.
great. Yes, she
Yeah.
should. Yes, she
Yeah.
should.
So, Delusional Bears fans, what are your final thoughts before we sign off?
Well, first of all, I would say, thank you for having me. I appreciated
welcome.
getting to know you all. With me going to the Carolina game, I think we should meet up for a round of beers. Quite
Yes.
honestly, I'll be with my
Yes,
crew,
ma'am.
like 3 other people. So let's do that. I'm excited for football. Clarence, I agree with you. It brings people together. There's nothing more I'd rather do than be with my family, my friends, watching Bears football. And all football, quite honestly. I'm excited to see, because when have we ever been able to talk about, outside of Peyton, our running back core? I'm excited to see what those two are going to do on the field with Swift and Monangai. I can't wait to
Yes.
see how this offense clicks. And we'll see what happens with the defense. But we're in this time right now where it is just slow. And what are we going to talk about? But when Bears
Right.
football's on, you will be seeing me at the games showing everybody and anybody what's going on the field. So I'm
And your
excited
brother
about
said
that.
just not the Packers.
Just not the pack. Fuck the Packers.
Thank
Fuck them
you.
all.
Look, we like her already. We like her already. So with that, until next time, peace. Bear down, everybody.
Very
Bye, everybody.